Hey y'all, Happy New Year. I am back in my office and I wanted to share just a few tips with you on how to become the best student that you can be in 2023. So before I get started, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I would like to get to know if it could be. So how can you become your best student in 2023? The first step is goal setting. So goal setting is so important. It's something we typically hear about at the beginning of the year, and then as the year goes on, like we just forget about those things. But it's important for you to not only start the year with a goal, but you want to make sure that you are leaning into that goal every day. You want to put it somewhere that you can see it, whether that's on the fridge, whether that's on the mirror, whether that's in your planner. But it's important for you to engage with your goals. Now, I'm talking about goal setting, but I'm not just talking about any old goal setting. Your goals need to be SMART goals. They need to be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-based. That means that the goal that you're setting for yourself as a student needs to meet each one of those points. So something like, I just want to make good grades. That's not a SMART goal, right? Where do you want to make good grades at? What type of grade do you want to make? Is this something that's actually attainable for you? Is it realistic? Is it realistic for you to make an A in that physics course, or is it more realistic for you to make the B? And when do you need to have this goal completed by? Maybe you want to have check-in points with yourself that by the first test, I need to at least make a B. The second test, I want to make a B, but I want it to be 10 points or 5 points higher. You have to really be specific, and you have to set a time on these things, because if you don't set a time, how do you know when you accomplished it? So first things first, set a SMART goal with your academics. And I would recommend setting between 1 to 3 goals. So this is something that is so important. You have to look at last semester, and if things didn't go so great, really assess what went wrong. So if you failed that course, or if you passed but you didn't make the grade that you wanted to make, really sit down and think what went wrong. Go back and look at those tests that you made grades on. Where did the grades start dropping? Where did you stop understanding the material? When did you stop understanding the material? Was it because you missed a class or two? Was it because you didn't get the book on time? You really have to assess what went wrong. And if things went right, assess what went right. Was it because you got your books 3 weeks early? Was it because you pulled the syllabus early? So just like you're going to look at what went wrong, do the same thing for those things that went right so that you can repeat them in 2023. So this is something that I noticed that students have a very hard time with sometimes, and that is pivoting in the face of adversity. So what do I mean by that? Let's say that you didn't do well on your first exam and you get stuck, right? So maybe you don't reach out for help, or maybe you're not sure what to do. So in the face of adversity, when the going gets tough, what really matters is what you do next. So you may want to already start thinking about, if I don't do well on this test, what is going to be my next step? If I see that things aren't going too well in the class, what is going to be my next step? Am I going to drop it? Am I going to reach out to the professor? You want to already have your plan B in place so that when things don't go so hot, you already know what to do. So another important part to become the student that you want to be in 2023 is to take ownership. So many things like we don't have control over. Like we have really seen that, especially with COVID and things like that. But the question that we have to ask is, what do I have control over? And that really puts you in a position of power, that puts you in a position of ownership, and it lets you know that, hey, there are some things that I can change, and guess what? That's what I'm going to put all of my attention into. So a lot of times we get so bogged down, especially as students, we have so much going on in our lives, but a lot of that stuff we do not have control over. So ask yourself, what do I have control over, and how am I going to make the absolute best out of it? So my last tip is to be mindful. Be mindful of your thoughts, your words, your actions, all of those things work together, right? So if you're thinking, man, I'm not going to pass this test, your actions may follow that. If you're hanging around the folks who are saying those things are going to be pushed off onto you. So be mindful on what you're taking in. Be mindful regarding your rest, making sure that you're including things that you want to do in 2023, because those are the things that really help our academic careers to really go the way that we want to go. So be mindful. So for more information about goal setting and how you can become the best student or the best person that you want to be in 2023, check out this link right above here, or it might be over here, where I talk about goal setting for 2023. I'll see you over there.